Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Could our land, groundwater, and surface water be at risk because of a plan to replace Line 5? Hours ago, a federal report came down, and tonight, people on both sides of the issue are scrambling to make sense of some concerning issues exposed. Well, tonight, a major development involving the future of Line 5.
Yeah, as you know, I've been covering this for years now, tracking it closely. So here is the latest developments this afternoon. Take a look. Just today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers released its draft environmental impact statement on Enbridge's controversial proposal to build Line 5. Now, a 3.6-mile tunnel beneath the Straits of Mackinac. The tunnel would house a new oil and gas pipeline to replace the aging Line 5 infrastructure that has drawn some growing concern over the past decade. So, according to the report, the tunnel project would cause direct, detrimental effects to the environment, including the loss of trees and wetlands, disruption of surface and groundwater systems, and impacts to both wildlife and public recreation during construction. While the majority of those negative impacts are expected to occur only during the construction phase, which could last up to 6 years, the Army Corps concludes that many of them could be significant and long-lasting. So among the most concerning findings are the potential for erosion and sedimentation, the release of drilling fluids into the water, and daily truck traffic that would just clog public roads and heighten safety risks, especially during peak travel seasons. So despite these challenges, the Corps report also acknowledges potential long-term benefits. If completed, the tunnel would reduce the risk of a catastrophic pipeline leak in the open waters of the Great Lakes. It could also allow for the decommissioning of the twin pipelines currently lying exposed on the lake bottom, pipelines that were built more than 70 years ago. So Enbridge maintaining today the new tunnel would provide a safer, more modern solution for transporting over 20 million gallons of oil and natural gas liquids daily through Michigan. The company also points to the extensive permit review process, which it says has been ongoing for more than 5 years. So many different opinions on this one, but the project remains deeply divisive. Environmental groups calling for a full and also an independent review under Michigan's Submerged Lands Act, arguing that the project threatens public trust resources. The debate now shifts to the public. It's your turn. The Army Corps of Engineers inviting public comments on the environmental impact study that was just released today through June 30th. They are going to hold 2 virtual public meetings this summer to discuss the findings. You can see the timing of those meetings on your screen right now. As always, we'll continue to track every single step of this process because it is complicated. We're going to continue to bring you those updates as the story develops month by month. You can also watch the entire documentary that I did on the future of Line 5. Right now, it is on Local 4 Plus, and you can also find it on clickondetroit.com.
Now to a high-profile murder case we've been following since 2021. The Dee Warner murder trial is still several months away, but today her husband and accused killer, Dale Warner, faced the judge in Lenawee County, this time for a motion hearing. Now, Dale Warner is accused of killing Dee and stuffing her body inside a tank on his property. One of the key issues discussed in court was a request for a change of venue. Will Jones is following this story for us tonight. So, Will, what did the judge decide on this one?
Damon, the judge denied the defense team's request for a change of venue for now. The defense is concerned about finding a fair jury in Lenawee County, pointing to coverage in the media as well as what's being said on social media.
There has been a tremendous amount on social media about this case, all of it, practically all of it, fundamentally against Mr. Warner.
Dale Warner's lawyer arguing for a change of venue for his murder trial. He's accused of killing his wife, Dee Warner, and hiding her body inside a large anhydrous tank in Lenawee County. Her remains were found 3 years after she went missing.
There is an individual in Lenawee County who posted on the Justice for Dee page about how to essentially be a stealth juror, how to make sure that you scrub your social media so that if you get called for jury duty, no one will ever know that you were on the Justice for Dee page.
So this motion kind of puts the cart before the horse and assumes, based on a few anecdotes, is that out of the tens of thousands of potential Lenawee County jurors, that 12 fair and impartial jurors cannot be found. And that's just a leap too far.
Although the judge acknowledged Warner's attorney's concerns about the social media activity, He denied the change of venue motion without prejudice, meaning it can be revisited.
I do share some of the concerns about things that have been said, particularly online. However, I don't know that at this point it rises to the level for me to say that a fair jury cannot be picked.
Other motions dealt with today include discovery, suppression of evidence, and Warner's calls from jail. The trial is set to start in January. We are live tonight. Will Jones, Local 4.
And I know we'll continue following this. Thank you, Will.
We've got breaking news right now coming from Allen Park, where a gas station is shut down right now because a man armed with a knife is refusing to come outside. Happening at the Marathon gas station at Allen and Southfield Roads. Right now, that SWAT team is there trying to coax him out. We're told the clerk got out, which means no one else is inside that building with that armed man. We do have a crew on the ground, and we will bring you an update as soon as we learn more. Again, a man armed with a knife refusing to leave an Allen Park gas station.
All right, take a look at this video from Sky 4 within the past 60 minutes shows the Detroit Grand Prix as drivers go through qualifying rounds.
Later tonight, the Grand Prix Cruise Night presented by the Detroit Auto Show. Lots of folks are excited about that.
You know, racing fans are flocking to Detroit from across the country for this weekend's races.
It's a big deal. So let's bring in Priya Mann. She has been out all day long on the track. What are you hearing from fans today, Priya?
They're having so much fun. They're also loving the weather. It hasn't been as sunny in the last couple of hours, and they're enjoying that reprieve. But we're here in the paddock and want to show you all of the action. Tons of fans have been lining up to watch these crews at work. Very different from the pit lane. Those will be sort of minor repairs. Here's where the heavy-duty work happens, so you can get a really in-depth, close look at some of these vehicles and what it takes to kind of put them together and then, of course, get them ready for that racetrack. You talk about a big deal. We're talking about $100 million. This is coming from tourism, folks who are visiting, and all that money that's being spent. Mason Wurst in South Lyon opened just 6 months ago.
It's brand new for us, and we're just starting to scale up a little bit.
If it's all about location, the small business is in for a busy weekend at the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix.
Very exciting. So we are honored that we have been selected to be one of the food vendor here. I mean, people will get to know us, and maybe they will say, hey guys, do you do like grad party? Do you do like other stuff like that and catering?
They're known for their raclette cheese from the Alps. This week, the cost jumped 20% due to tariffs, which means you'll pay more for this bratwurst.
You guys into the racing at all? We like racing, yes. Yeah.
Some of their first customers of the day were tourists from Nebraska.
What do you think so far of Detroit?
Detroit's been really cool. They've got the people mover that they got going for free. I really love public infrastructure like that. Big fan of that type of stuff. Back in Nebraska, it's kind of just like not there. So having something where you can actually hop on for free and go places, that's pretty cool.
Evan Killian and his friends are IMSA fans and drove 11 hours to be here today.
It's a little cheaper than flying. We're just trying to keep the costs low. And I mean, today's free. It's pretty nifty.
150,000 fans are expected over the weekend, generating $100 million for Detroit's economy.
It's hotels, it's bars, it's restaurants, it's casinos, it's rental cars. It's all of those things that factor into all the spending that goes on with it. It is a big event for Detroit. Really puts the city on the map, and I really think it showcases all that Detroit has to offer.
And when's the last time you got this close to an Aston Martin race car and were able to see crews hard at work? This is one of the reasons why this race in particular is so unique. Now, when it comes to the competition, you've got the first race starting tomorrow. That's the IMSA race. And then you have the final IndyCar race. That's happening Sunday at 12:30. So a jam-packed weekend. You can hear all the sounds and sights. You got to check it out. It is going to be a great time, especially if you've got a family. Reporting live here in downtown, I'm Priya Mann. But first, we do want to check in with my colleague Joel. Place, where are you at, Joel?
Hey, Priya, if you've got a pit pass, you've probably passed this Dallara truck 10 times today, and you will throughout the weekend, but I want to bring you inside to meet Lauren McIntyre Brooks. Dallara is the chassis supplier for IndyCar, which is a fancy way of saying they supply all of the parts. And all of those parts are right here. How many would you say that you have?
Roughly 6,000 probably individual components on the trailer. We try to carry at least 4 complete car sets of everything.
Complete cars broken down. So take a look at these drawers here. Everything from little bolts to big stuff like this. So let's say that we got into the wall, right?
Yes.
We need a suspension part. You just pull it out from right here.
We do. So our day is going to consist of whatever necessarily happens on track. We're here to provide not only parts supply for all of the teams, but also technical support as well.
Nobody ever wants to make this trip, but if we have a chaotic race like we do on Sunday, you may even have to make a trip with Laura up here. Just get an idea of how many parts there are. They have an upstairs section in this Dallara truck. 4 complete cars, and if it is a race anything like we saw on Sunday, complete chaos and a busy day for Lauren McIntyre Brooks and the Dallara crew. We appreciate your time and maybe hope you have a day that is not quite as busy this time around, all right?
Yes, thank you, Joel.
All right, thanks so much, Joel. We appreciate exciting stuff. Now, for everything that you need to know about the race, from event times to parking instructions, all you need to do is head to the homepage of clickondetroit.com. Thanks, guys, for the coverage. Appreciate it.